Hello everyone, welcome to the session. In this session, I would like to discuss about Banker's algorithm for deadlock avoidance. Means using this algorithm, we can find out what is a safe sequence of processes to execute to avoid the deadlock. Now let's see one example which applies this Banker's algorithm. Now in the following example, we are seeing five processes from P0 to P4 whose snapshot of values are given like this. So allocation of three resources ABC, maximum, available is also called as work, and need. Now let's see what are all these data structures first. The first one is allocation. So allocation means there are three resources actually, A, B, C. So P1 took A resource, 0 instances of A resource, 1 instance of B resource, and 0 instances of C resource. So these are like allocation. Now actually maximum is requested by P0. For example, I'm saying P0 has actually asked for 7 instances of A, but I have given only 0. It means that still 7 are pending. So those pending we can call it as need. See, means how much they need still. So maximum they have asked this, I have allocated this. So if you'll subtract these two, you'll get the value of need here. So that's why the need formula is equals to, need is equals to max minus allocation. So max minus allocation. And you have one more data structure called as available, which is also called as work. Now what is available mean is, if you'll observe here in the resources, A has 10 instances, B has 5 instances, C has 7 instances on the whole. So A has 10 instances means for example, A is a resource which is having 10 copies. Now how many I have allocated already? If you'll take A instances for all the 5 processes, I have allocated totally 7. So out of 10, 7 are allocated. So remaining are 3. Similarly, B has 5. Out of 5, I have allocated only 2. So remaining is 3. And C has 7. Out of 7, I have allocated 5 and remaining are 2. So this is called as available. So we have seen what is maximum, what is allocation, and what is need, and what is available. Now let's try to write the values of all these processes. Try to write the values of need for all these processes using this formula, that is need is equals to max minus allocation. So let's write the values fastly. So need of this is equals to 7 minus 0, so it is 7. 7 minus 0 7. Next 5 minus 1 is 4, and 3 minus 0 is 3. Likewise, let's repeat for the remaining processes. So it is 1 2 2. Next is 6 0 0. Next is 0 1 1. Next is 4 3 1. So these are the need values for all the three processes. Now the next thing is, after calculating the need values, we have to see a condition. The condition is, if need is less than or equals to work, that is if the need is less than or equals to available, then you have to update the value of work as work is equals to work plus allocation. Now let's see what is this actually. Now let's see in simple terms what does it mean. So you have asked for something, I have allocated something. So the pending is called as need. So I should give this pending values to you people. Now before giving this, I should check how many are available with me. So 332 are available with me. It means that I can give only to those who is asking less than 332. So only those who are asking less than available with me. So I can't give this to the first person because he is asking 743. So I can give this to only to those who is asking less than this 332. So I can give it to first person. Imagine that I gave to the first person. Now the first person took these resources, that is 332 he took he executed. After execution, he'll release these resources. Along with these resources, he'll also release which are already previously allocated, that is 200. So he'll release 332 and 200. On the whole, he'll release 532. Now available with me are 532, which I should give only to those who is asking less than 532. So likewise we have to proceed. Now let's see in detail step by step. Now let's see the process wise. The first process is P naught. Now P naught's need is how much? 743. So P naught's need is 743 less than or equals to available 332. Now is it less than or equals to available? No, it's false. So we can't do anything. Now let's go to the next one. P1. P1's need is how much? 122. 122 is less than or equals to 332. Yes, this is true. So if it is true, then what you have to do is update this value. That is work is equals to work plus work is how much? 332. So 332 plus allocation. How many we have already allocated for P1? So that is 200. So it will be total 532. Means I am going to update the value of work now as 532. So let's update that value. So that is 532. So this is my new available. Now what I have to do is see that who is asking less than 532 now. So let's take the next process, that is P2. Now P2's need is how much? 600. 600 is less than or equals to 532. Is it true? No, it's false. So we should go to the next process. So that is P3. Now P3 is asking how much? 011. So it is 011 is less than or equals to 532. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Then we have to update the value of work. So work is equals to work plus. So what is the work now? 532. So it is 532 plus how much are already allocated to P3. So it is 211. So add that 211. So it is now 743. So the updated value of work is now 743. Now 743 is available. Now let's take the next process, that is P4. Now P4's need is how much? 431. So 431 less than or equals to 743. Yes, it is less than. Now if it is less than, we have to update the value of work. So that is work is equals to work plus, that is 743 plus allocated to the previous allocation of P4, that is 002. So it is 745. So let's update this new available value, that is 745. So you are available with 745 now. So already which process we have completed? P1 completed, P3 completed, P4 completed. Now again come back to P naught. So P naught's need is how much? 743 less than or equals to, now it is 745. Yes, it is less than. So in this case I'll just update. So work is equals to work plus. So that is 745 plus allocation of P naught. So that is 010. So it is 755. Now let's update this work value. So here it is 7, 5 and 5. Now P1, P3, P4, P naught completed. Now let's go to the next one. So whichever is completed, we'll just put a tick mark. P1 is completed, P3 has completed, P4 has completed, just now P naught completed. Now which one is left? P2 is left. Now let's see P2's value. So P2's need how much? 600 is less than or equals to, what is the new available? 755. Yes, it is less than. Now let's update work value. Work is equals to 755 plus allocated one, how much? 302. So it is 10, 5, 7. So The updated value I'll take here is 10, 5, 7. Now if you'll observe in the question, in the beginning they told that 10 instances of A resources are there, means 10 copies of A are there which I have allocated like this. Now finally after everyone completes their execution, now finally I got 10 instances of A resource. Now again 5 instances of B resource, 7 instances of C resource, means whatever the resources I gave to all the 5 processes, they have completed their execution and they gave back their resources. So this is one point which shows that you got back all the resources and everyone completed their execution and released their resources. So this is like a Banker's algorithm. Now in this algorithm we have seen that the sequence of execution. Now let's write down the sequence of execution, means in which sequence you have executed first. So we have seen that the first one to execute is what? P1. So I'll write the sequence here. So P1 we have executed, and then we have executed P3, then we have executed P4, then we have executed P0, and then we have finally executed P2. So this is called as the safe sequence. So safe sequence means this is a sequence which tells that you should execute the processes in this order to avoid the deadlock. So instead of executing as P0 to P4, you execute in this way, that is P1, P3, P4, P0, P2. If you'll execute in this sequence, we'll avoid the deadlock. So this is called as Banker's algorithm to avoid the deadlock. Now let's see why it is called as Banker's algorithm. So in the example we have seen that we have given the resources only to those who is asking less than the available. Similarly, the banker, what he'll do is, if someone is asking for loan, he can't give the amount for the person who is asking more than available. He can give only to those person or to that person who is asking less than the amount available in the bank. So that's why this algorithm is called as Banker's algorithm. So I hope everyone understood Banker's algorithm in this session. Thank you all.